The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cellar 13 Films, Chips, Dips, Films, and
Scripts.
There you go.
There we go.
My name is Glenn Spillman. To my left is Shaun Taylor.
Forgot for a second, didn't you?
Yeah, I almost said a different Shaun. And you were listening to us on Armed Radio out of Boston, Massachusetts. Armed Radio's in Boston. We're here in sunny California. Today, literally, sunny. It was warm.
Ish.
Short and t-shirt weather-ish, depending on who you are. And
You like low 60s, yeah?
Yeah. Put a wetsuit on, go surfing. So we're being aired in 60 countries right now, and I want to thank everyone tuning in on our Periscope channel and also Facebook Live. Looks like we've got Cassandra Spears just tuned in on our Cellar 13 page. So thank you, Casey. Casey is living in Austin, Texas. So welcome to the show, Casey.
And What We Talk just joined.
What?
What We Talk just joined.
Oh, I thought you had a mouse in your pocket. And what we talking about? So Casey said, "Oh, hello from cold and wet Austin, Texas."
Wow.
Well, tonight's show we're going to be going over one of the main topics is. We're going to be talking about how actors, whether you're a theater actor or a film actor, and we're going to talk about the different ways and methods on how to learn your lines. So this was a question I posed, and I put a question on another Facebook page that I was on, and I've received probably about 40 plus answers on it, so we'll be going over a few of those. But before we get into that topic, and of course, as always, Steve, welcome to the show, brother. As always, ask questions during the show.
Please.
Anything on film or filmmaking, acting, set, whatever you want to do, as long as it's in the sphere of the film world. Yeah. Or TV, or
anything.
Plays, musicals.
Yeah, entertainment.
Yeah.
To a point.
No reality.
No reality TV.
Yeah, no freaking Real Housewives, even though I love the show.
What?
I like the drama,
Get out of
dude.
here.
I know. I can't help it. So we're going to talk about, we were talking earlier about the Golden Globes.
Yeah, about the new movies coming, the movies that have come out in 2017.
The best ones that, according to, now, movies are art. Art is subjective.
Yeah.
And before I go any further, I want to introduce our always mascot, Paul. Paul. And we will talk more about Paul here in a little bit. But movies are art, art subjective. So what some people will be like, oh man, you gotta go see this movie, it's awesome. Someone told me, this is a play, someone told me about this one play. They go, oh man, you gotta see it. And I got 2 tickets, and I invited Shaun, and Shaun was like, that was awful.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. And I went because, to me, I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to go check it out anyway. And it was awful. So I will say, we've got...
Are you going to say the name of that?
Should I?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll say,
go ahead.
He went and saw Shrek the Musical. Now, I love animated films. Huge fan of DreamWorks and all those. And I love the Shrek movies. Well, all except the third one. But the musical was just terrible. It was just, there's some things you cannot translate or transition from screen to stage.
What? We could bring someone on camera? Says Charlie Rice is watching. Bring them on camera. I'm going to hit add.
All right.
And see what that freaking does.
All right.
Charlie, I hope you don't mind it. I did that. I hit add, so we're going to see. I've never seen that. before. So
Must be an update.
yeah,
All right.
pretty freaking cool. I hit ad, but it didn't. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so some things just don't translate from screen to stage. A lot of things have been done where books have been made into very successful.
Yeah, but it's also the way they did it, though. They kind of did the whole too over the top comedy with it.
It was meant for children, I think, or for very young audiences. But so were the movies.
Yeah, but they could have, the production that I went to, they could have done some things better as far as the stage set and whatnot, and like when the king was basically crawling on his knees, and to make him look shorter, he had the legs in front of him, but it wasn't covered, so the illusion was just gone.
Yeah, you got to have a certain amount of what's the term I'm looking for? You got to be able to suspend disbelief to a point, and sometimes it's just not possible.
Right. So some of the best movies, and I know you pulled them up. So there's the web that says, okay, we think it's, and I did that, guys. So I'm gonna hit Casey next. Casey doesn't like to be on camera, but I'm gonna freaking add you anyway. We'll see if she accepts it. So this is what the web says about.
These are not the nominated.
No, these are not
movies that have been.
Yeah, these aren't nominees for anything.
Oh my gosh.
Particularly. Oh, well, yeah, so we've got...
You've got my thumb on there, and I've got a TV now.
Oh, so actually, we can bring people in and talk to them on... All right, Casey doesn't want to be on camera, so I'm going to take her off. So, all right, so, you know what? We'll bring...
You have a great thumb, though.
You got a great thumb. Oh, can't bring Charlie on camera. Okay, well, that's fine.
So, let us know if you want to be on camera with us and be part of the show.
Oh, Brian... how do you say that name? Quattromani? Hello, Glenn, from the brisk 17-degree state of Rhode Island, which I guess you pronounce island. I hate silent letters. We'll say hello to Shaun, too, brother.
Hi.
Oh, well, welcome, Brian. So some of the movies that came out, Shaun graciously pulled up.
Wonder Woman was a huge, huge movie, made great money.
Yeah, Get Out.
Now, that's one I want to talk about real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Take a minute.
Get Out. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, okay. It's actually, it looked like just a regular, kind of regular horror movie, thriller. And I saw it, and it was very, very well done. Great acting, good story. You were not in it.
No.
Not that one.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I don't understand why it's getting all the hype. Because it was good, it wasn't great. Hey, Britain.
Oh, we got Britain in the house.
Outstanding. So yeah, I mean, it was a good movie. It wasn't great. I don't understand why they're talking about Academy Awards. It's been nominated for Golden Globe.
I have to see it now because it is rare. The last horror film that was...
Really I don't know if you can call it a horror. It's more thriller, I guess.
True. I know about the movie. I just haven't seen it. The last horror movie to win an Academy Award was, I believe, The Exorcist.
Yeah, that's about what I was going to say, yeah.
It won two.
Yeah, but no, that was unprecedented because it was a film that nobody had ever seen a movie like that at the time when it came out. So when you have a movie like Get Out, which was good, and yes, Wonder Woman was fantastic, and for all you haters out there, sorry, I love Justice League too, thought it was great. But the point is that when you have a movie like that and it's getting all this hype, you got to wonder why. And I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off, and I'm going to try and say this as sensitively as I can.
Are you going to drop an F-bomb?
No.
Are you going to get us the red E?
Nope.
Okay. There's children watching.
No. So 2 years ago, everybody was saying, or a couple years ago, people were saying how all the Academy Awards, the Golden Globes, everything was whitewashed. There were not enough, black movies, black actors.
Let's just say there was one film in there, well, a couple, but the guy that should have won supporting actor, I don't remember his name, but he played Apollo Creed's son in Creed.
Yeah.
He should have been. He should have freaking won. Dude.
I agree. That was a phenomenal film, and he's a great actor. But the thing is, it's almost like a reverse racism where they're now, trying to
purposely doing it, and then if you looked at last year's Academy Awards, if an African American was nominated, they won, and I think they just did it for that. But we are going to have Now you cannot go to the all those people that sit outside the Academy Awards and they're clapping and screaming. The regular people. You can't just go and show up. You have to have a ticket, and the only way to get a ticket is through a lottery system that you have to apply a year in advance.
Right. Unless you get a job as a seat filler.
Yes.
Which basically means when the celebrities get up,
yes,
you sit there to make sure the audience looks full during that period.
Yes. And then if their name gets called during that, they're in the bathroom or whatever, just go up and freaking take the award for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run.
See how that works. We've got Pat Chapman and Randy Blake. Pat Chapman. What's up, brother?
Good name.
Pat Chapman, ladies and gentlemen. I went to high school with this guy. He was part of our little rat pack. We had Pat Chapman, we had Leaf Yonker, Burt Carranza, and myself.
Leaf Yonker.
Leaf Yonker. And I won't say the story, Pat, but do you remember that night on Halloween after we watched all those horror films at Leaf's house, what we did after that?
That was when you hit that body?
A body actually was involved, but that's all I'll say. But anyway, welcome, Pat.
I do not want you to be accused of guilt by
No, it's not anything like that. Yeah. So, of course, we've got Star Wars The Last Jedi. We'll talk about that in a minute. Call Me By Your Name.
Not seen it.
Lady Bird.
Heard of that, didn't see it.
Big Stick. Blade Runner.
You know what? That's one I missed.
Logan. Another Planet of the Apes. So there's...
Now, that was actually one of the best of the series.
A Ghost Story. I mean, there is probably a good 100-plus movies.
Hola.
Then you got Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. People either love it or they hate it. We got Randy Blake. He says, good day. So are you saying good day as in like Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi? And you know what? Speaking of the person that's watching from Britain, how they say I don't give a F, they go, I don't give a fig. Like Fig Newton, I don't give a fig. I like that. I saw that on a show. I'm like, I'm going to start using that. I like that. Because I can't say the F-bomb. I mean, I can on this show. Well, he says it most of the time. And he gets us the little red freaking E. So anytime you see an E on the show, if you go to iHeartRadio, let's go to this guy. This guy and freaking Paul here. Paul gets drunk.
Yeah, Paul.
So what is your... now, I want you to look up while I'm setting this next one up. Look up and tell me how much Star Wars has made to date.
Okay.
Casey says... photobombed me. Yes, I did. So some of the movies, I've only been to a select few movies this year. One of them was I joined this meetup group that goes and does just a bunch of stuff, and they go to movies. So the first night I went, we saw Daddy's Home 2, right?
Did you?
Yeah, with Will Ferrell,
yeah,
Mark Wahlberg, and John Lithgow. And John Lithgow, he plays, one of the shows that I'm watching right now is called The Crown. And Lithgow plays the Prime Minister, one of the Prime Ministers. And I really like him in that show. Really, I do. They did an excellent job on the makeup. So, how much has it made to date?
$745 million.
$745 million.
That's as of the 24th, so it's probably made quite a bit more since then.
So it's safe to say that by January 1st of 2018, Star Wars worldwide will have broke 1 billion.
As of 8 hours ago, $934 million worldwide.
$934 million worldwide. So when the first Star Wars came out in 1977, its gross was what? Look at what its gross was. I don't remember the exact number now.
Star Wars movie profit.
But it was the highest grossing film of all time for a lot of years. And now that number, it's just like nothing compared to, what movies make today. Now, of course, Star Wars had a budget of what?
Oh, jeez.
Probably $150 million. But they've already made that 3-4 times over.
I had an $11 million budget and made $775 million in 1977.
Yeah.
Now, comparatively, that's probably close to about 1.5, 1.8 billion.
Yeah. So, Golden Globes. what are the top nominees of the Golden Globes? And let me ask you, the movies. Oh, and we went to see It together, so I saw It.
I love that.
So what are your top 3 movies of 2017 that you've seen? That you think is your top 3?
That's something I'd have to think about.
Okay.
Again, I don't tend to go with what the most popular is.
No, you don't have
I
to.
think I really love Wonder Woman. The reason why is not because it was a superhero, not because it was just a DC movie, but because as a period epic film, it was incredibly well done. They captured the flavor of the time. It captured the way the cities looked.
Cutting out.
Okay.
Go ahead, keep going.
Okay. That was one of mine for a lot of reasons. I don't know if it necessarily deserves Best Picture, but I think that it was really well done.
I think that now when the Academy Awards roll out, I think somewhere we should have a some kind of what am I trying to say? Oscar party. Here's what we're going to do on Cellar 13 Films. We're going to run a betting pool. So what we're going to do...
Is that illegal?
Well, it depends on how we do it. Because office people do it all the time. So we'll do a... whatever we want to call it. And then we'll have everyone on our Facebook page, and we'll have them email it to us, or however we do it. So we're going to have everyone pick, Best Picture, all the categories. And the top 3 people that have the most correct answers will have some kind of prize, something. That'll be good.
We'll put a prize package together. Movie
it'll be
tickets
cool.
and stuff.
One thing, when Dan comes back, we'll get that thing that I got. What we're going to have... we'll have memorabilia, we'll have signed scripts, we'll have some cool stuff. Some of the stuff that we might possibly have, you don't see this anymore. It's rare. What this is film, actual film from a film.
It's the trailer, though.
And it's a trailer, and it is from 20th Century Fox. This particular one is Aliens in the Attic. So it's about 2 minutes. It's a running time of 2 minutes. And so we have things like this that we give away as prizes. But this is Shaun's. This is his.
We have marketing material from other movies, hats from different films that are brand new.
Oh, Rodney Ingerson says, office people do it all the time. Rodney, what's up, brother? It's been a long time since I talked to you, man. I miss you, brother. We need to do lunch. So some of the what's this?
That's the list. So
the list for the Golden Globes.
And usually, when whatever is nominated for Golden Globes, 90% of the time or more, that's exactly
Right.
what you see for the Academy. Although this breaks it down by genre.
Yes, genre. So best motion picture drama, you have Call Me by Your Name. Sounds like a naughty. Dunkirk, The Post, The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water looks really good.
I think that one will take it, but we won't go into that just yet. Best performance by an actress. I'll just name the Jessica Chastain, Sally Hawkins, Frances McDormand,
yeah.
Meryl Streep. Guess who's going to win? Meryl Streep has more Oscar wins.
Well, all right. Now look at this. You got a Spielberg movie starring Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
The Post.
Right.
Based on a true story, so it's a historical, epic, huge Spielberg film.
Yeah.
It's going to sweep. I think one of the other ones that has an excellent chance of doing really well, and I unfortunately haven't seen it, and I'm trying to see it this weekend, Dunkirk. Another one. Looks fantastic. And I've heard nothing but really good things about it.
All right. So, I mean, best motion picture, musical, or comedy.
Go back up again.
Yeah.
They actually had Get Out under musical or comedy.
Okay, first off, Get Out, unless you're on crack or something like that, or you're on some really good LSD, I don't see how you can think it's a musical or a comedy. I don't even know if there's any comedic moments in the film.
No, there aren't. I've seen the movie. It's really, really good. But unless you're just a cruel SOB, it's not that funny.
No, and I don't think... So what we're going to do is we're going to do that bet, if you will, on the Oscars. So let's dive into some of the subject matter. How do you learn lines? So Shaun, you've acted before in both stage and film. First off, let me ask you this question. On acting, which do you like better, stage or film?
I like film because you get multiple takes. And when I've done stage, if you make a mistake, it's too late. It's already out there.
Yeah, you can't go like,
can we do this again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Yeah. Sorry, audience, forget this happened. Yeah. Now, sitcoms do that when they film in front of a live audience.
Yes, you could do that.
They'll do multiple takes.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, Dan and I, we went to the set of Big Bang Theory. And
oh man, that'd have been cool.
It was, but they weren't filming that day.
No.
So they said that they'll do one take and they'll love the laughter from a certain part of the audience, and they'll use that for the final take. But then they'll have some audience member who has just an obnoxious laugh, and they're laughing ridiculously at everything because they want to hear themselves.
Right.
And they just cut the microphones to that part of the audience, and they edit them out.
No.
Yeah.
Cool.
But on stage, you don't get that second chance or 10th chance.
Right. Well, I have been cast in a premiere play that, when I say premiere, as in it's
premiering.
It's premiering. Not that it's not a premiere play. I'm just saying it's premiering. It's called Fragile Things, and
fragile or frail?
Fragile.
Fragile must be.
And to be honest with you, and I'm fully transparent, I fully admit, I'm scared shitless because it's live freaking theater. You cannot mess up.
Yeah.
So I, on one of the pages that I belong to, and Bonnie Gillespie runs this page, and she's a guru in the film industry and a lot of things. And I would look up her book, Bonnie Gillespie, and check it out. She's got a lot of good stuff. Anyway, she's been... On this page, I posed a question. My question was, what are some of the methods that you guys use to memorize lines? As far as theater goes, basically, and I won't say anything after that because it doesn't mean anything. So, there's the old-fashioned way. You get your script, you read it, you cover up your line, then you repeat it. So if your line is...
what is that big tomato in your hand?
Yeah, so you read the line, you cover it up, and then you say the line again. And then you just keep going over it, then you do that line, and then you go to your second line. And then you do the same thing, and then you read... so that's one method. And then Alex Ryan said, it helps me... as I'm going through each line to translate and think about exactly what I mean when I'm saying it. I do that all the way through the script a few times. Then I do what Dominique said, which is to cover and repeat. Sometimes I sing them in a scale so my body doesn't get attached to how I'm saying them. So this person actually sings their lines.
Okay.
And that's
impressive. That works.
And I will say this, folks. There's no right way, there's no wrong way on how to do these things. There's just everyone does things differently. But some of the things that these people are saying, like the singing, I never would have freaking thought of that. Yeah. But when you sing something, it just hits you differently. But whatever your method is, I would implore you to try these methods.
Yeah, absolutely.
But whatever your method is, why don't you guys go to Cellar13Films.com or on our Facebook group page, Cellar 13 Films Community. You can email me or post it. Tell me what your method is.
One of the things that I think this is where method actors have a little bit of they tend to do a little better because, now a method actor is someone who just lives and becomes that character. They're not just reciting lines and trying to embrace a certain character type. They literally become the actor. Again, let's go back to Big Bang Theory. I can't remember his name. The guy who plays Sheldon, he is a method actor. When he shows up to the set, he's already in character. If in between takes, before and after the show, he will only respond as the character Sheldon.
Mm-hmm.
He will not break that. And sometimes what I do, I don't consider myself a method actor just because I'm not experienced enough to be one or the other. But one of the things I think helps is if you can really visualize yourself as that person and make those lines natural for yourself, more than just memorizing them. Especially when you have a line.
Second nature.
Yeah, especially when you have a line to feed off of from that.
Right.
For example, if you actually, I'm good.
Okay, so when I film, like tomorrow, we're going to be filming, continuing with A Raven's Cry. When actors are on set, I call them by their character name. I don't. I say, hey, sometimes I call them by their character name and I gotta say it twice and what? I'm like, no, today you're freaking Paul Jr., or today you're Becky, whatever. Joy Jones says, she will record her cue lines and response so that she can listen and say them while doing chores or commuting. There's a lot of people that had posts on this thread that say that they will record their lines, and so while they're driving in traffic, they will listen to their lines instead of music or whatever. They will go over their lines while at a stop sign or whatever like that. One of the ways that I like to do things, we've got the cat over here. Say hi everyone to the cat. So we've got someone to run lines with. So just get a friend, a buddy, or a fellow actor, someone that could just run lines with you. They will be the other character. You run lines with them.
Oh, this is what I was going to say earlier. How many times have you thought about, okay, I have to have a conversation with this guy. I know how it's going to go, and these are going to be my argument points, or what I'm going to say. I got to get my point across. And I'm talking about real life. It's the same thing when you're trying to memorize lines. You know what you're going to say. You know what you're expecting the other person to say, and you tend to think about it as in, if you truly believe this is what you want to say to that person,
right?
It helps you memorize it a little. Also, same thing with studying for school. Your brain will memorize things better first thing in the morning when you wake up. So that's always a good time to try to memorize your lines.
And another one, Angela Sauer says she uses the first letter method. So here's the first letter method. So say you have, I don't have the script pulled up here, but say the first letter method is like you'll get like Mary. So you put M, and Mary says, I need to go to the grocery store. So the first letter method would be INTGTTGS. So you'd have the first letter of each word in your line. So that will be your cue, your trigger to memorize those lines. So that's another method. Charlie Flight says, I use the app that plays it over and over for me. So there's an app out there that, and I will tell you, you guys can go to our Facebook community page after the show, and I will put all of those apps in there. But there is an app that just you say the line, and it'll just repeat it over and over and over to you. So, and then that's one of the ways that she does it.
Line learners.
Line learner, yes, line learner is one of them. Emily Gilson says the best $4 I ever spent on an app called what Shaun just brought up. Line learner. It's fabulous at the beginning because you input all the lines manually. So that's one way you're remembering it because you're manually putting it in. And then if you are an oral learner like her, once it's recorded and it's done, you can play it back on a loop as often as you like. So there's Line Basher, Line Learner. Oh, it went down. Well, it's $4, $3.99.
There's Line Learner Lite for free.
Yeah, there's there's several different apps out there.
Tons of Realme. Oh my god.
Dan Labuda says, I use audio. If I record my lines and listen back to them, I can memorize it quick. So That's another way of just saying it and letting it. So Patrick Roper says, I use a combination of techniques over the years. First, I think it helps to go somewhere quiet, completely distraction-free, and read the material over and over several times, and then until you get a feel. Now, here's another method that you could use. So say you've got your lines. So on this play, I've got 45 different lines. So you take those lines, and then you read the first one, then you memorize it. Then you read the second one, you memorize it. Then you go over the first and second. And then you do the third line, do it. Then you go over the first, second, and third. Then you read the fourth line, do it. Then you go first, second, third, and fourth, all the way through all your lines. So, like the first line, you'll read it like maybe 50, 60 times, and then you just go over in accordance with that. So again, different methods on how to learn lines. Like, me, depending on, like, in the film that I'm in, one of the films I'm in, I will read the lines, just read them. Then I will picture the lines in my head. Like one of my lines, I was talking to this guy about, you know, if he was on a train, he's the driver, and there was a scenario. So I played that small movie in my head of what the lines were, so when I say a certain word, it will trigger that picture, and that picture will help me remember the line. Yeah, okay. That's just one of my methods.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So again, there's a plethora of ways of doing it. So Brittany Falls, welcome to the show. We've got Navjeet, welcome to the show. Again, for those of you just tuning in, you're listening to Cellar 13 Films, Chips, Dips, Films, and Scripts on Armed Radio. We are being broadcast live right now in 60 different countries. And so you guys can ask questions anytime. You can make a comment anytime. And if you want us to cover a certain subject matter, what you need to do is go to cellar13films.com. You can email us and say, hey, we would like you to cover this, or even a question. And we're on every single Friday. We're on once a week, every single Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, and we will make sure that we cover that. So we're going to get back to different methods on learning your lines. So some of the other movies that I think, let me ask you this, Shaun.
Yeah.
First off, the holidays just got over.
Yes, I know.
How many holiday-themed movies did you watch?
In the theater or at home?
Both.
A lot. Here's what I do. So I do my Christmas shopping online nowadays.
Okay.
When I have all my gifts ready to wrap,
yes,
I sit there, I have a couple drinks, I have a stack of Christmas movies. Holiday movies, all sorts of genres. And I'll just throw one in, start wrapping. You know, and the thing is, I've seen the movie so many times that, you know what, I mean, I can almost, say the lines along with them, but it's just more of a background entertainment.
Well, one movie that we watched together was Silent Night, Deadly Night.
That's right.
Now, it was like, seriously, it was banned in the United States when it came out. We watched it the other night, and I'm like, what the heck could they have possibly thought to ban this film? It was a bit cheesy. The acting was just whatever, but the gore really wasn't that much of a factor.
Well, the thing is, you're talking about a beloved holiday, and it's probably the first time you've seen a horror movie made where the most beloved character, Santa,
whacking people.
Yeah, well, yeah, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. And, but, it was okay. I didn't really appreciate it that much.
I thought the acting was terrible. The guy who played Santa they could have used anybody and got the same response. The guy was just boring.
Barnaby Falls, welcome to the show, brother.
84.
What?
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
84 what?
1984.
Oh, 1984. I was like, 84 what? Okay, so a couple more people answered the question that I had. Like Olivia Nice says, I record all the lines in my voice memos app. She walks around the city while speaking along with her responses. When she feels close enough, she will run lines with her mother over the phone while walking around. So I'm taking in other stimuli and responding with a different emotionality each time.
Interesting.
So when you see people walking around the city talking to themselves, they're not really crazy. They might just be actors trying to learn lines. You know? Several people said that they record themselves. Brittany Olsen says 2 things for her. 1, repeat, repeat, repeat. In the car, run lines. Out to lunch, run lines. And she says this can be interesting depending on the lines. Pull in co-stars, friends, family to help. She record lines and listens to them. And then she says there are some apps that will leave gaps in your lines so you could say them. And then a lot of people would, just start rattling off this app, this app, this app. So here's one thing that I did. There's this website that I will also put in our Facebook page that I will implore you, and it's very interesting. Go to educationplanner.org. There's 20 questions, and it will basically formulate how you learn, whether you're a visual, a verbal, whatever. And Stephanie is the one that brought up this. Stephanie Bergeron brought up this website. She goes, I find it helps to know how you learn if you're more kinesthetic, auditory, or visual. Leaning into those strategies will help your brain pick up faster. And again, there's like 40 different responses and 40 people learning mainly 40 different ways. So, and I think, this is just me personally, when I learn my lines as a film actor, I know that we're going to do more than one take. So I will learn my lines, obviously, but I feel more relaxed because if I mess up on a line, we'll just do another take. And then I could read it over the, once we get on set. And even if I know my lines frontwards, backwards, I will still look at the script before because it helps me dive into that character more.
Right. As filmmakers, one of the things we like, we want to see an actor give the same lines with different inflections, different emotions. And,
of course.
And that way, giving them the opportunity to do it over and over again. Sometimes a mistake or a stutter works.
Actually works, yeah. Christina McManus, welcome to the show, sister. When you have conversation, there's pausing, there's stuttering, there's stepping over each other, there's, people have conversation, so when you're an actor, you could tell. I could watch a movie and tell you just by the actor's eyes if they're in tune with the other actor or if they're waiting for their other line. You can see it in their lips and you can see it in their eyes whether they are listening to the other actor or anticipating what their line is going to be. And if you're the type of actor that anticipates your line coming up next, you can tell in your performance that you're not in tune with the other actor, engaged with them.
Well, that's the sign of a truly good actor and good, what's the word when you get two actors that have good...
Chemistry.
Chemistry, thank you.
You're welcome. Speaking of chemistry, we've got Jerry Hickman tuning in on our Facebook page. What's up, Jerry? Jerry Hickman is the MMA fighter that I had conversations with last week that we're going to be using for some promo stuff that we're doing. We're going to be doing a day in the life of this guy, so keep your eye out for that. It's going to be pretty awesome. As far as what we got going on this weekend at Cellar 13 Films, we're going to be continuing on our film A Raven's Cry. And so we have about 3-4 more scenes to do, and then we're done with the film. And coming on board tomorrow, we've got Christina McManus, and we also have Melissa Hodge.
Yep.
And we're going to have about 20 or so extras.
Weren't they both working on with us on The Choice?
No.
Was that Melissa?
Melissa.
Yeah.
Melissa was.
Yeah, at least one of them was.
Yes. Jerry says, hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, man?
So tomorrow, hey, real quick, guys, for tomorrow, our food is going to be awesome. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's homemade. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be hot. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be awesome. So, Shaun, when you were going through your acting prowess through stage and film, did anyone at any point in time say, hey, this is how I would suggest that you learn your lines? Or did you just go off of it on your own?
When I took acting classes, yeah, there was always that. There were different methods on how you're supposed to memorize. But otherwise, no, most of the direction that you ever get was how to deliver the lines and where to stand, what to do. But never, or hardly ever, did you ever get somebody saying, I want you to learn your lines this way. Because they assume that if you're experienced enough to have gotten the role and won the role through auditions, that you obviously know how to do that already.
Okay. Ryan Adams, welcome to the show, brother. Ryan Adams is doing some good stuff, folks. I think he's going to be going in down to L.A. for a while. I'm not going to mention what he's doing because I don't know how secret it is or whatever, so I will let him post that out there if he wants. But anyway, welcome to the show. That's okay. So, films and the Golden Globes. We were talking about the Golden Globes and we were talking about Oscars and whatnot.
Right.
So do you think that, say you have an Academy Award winner,
Right.
but then you've got another actor that has maybe, we'll just say, 8 Golden Globes. Do you think in the world of thought that it is more prestigious to be an Academy Award winner or a multiple Golden Globe winner?
I think a lot of that would depend. If you're a TV actor, I think multiple Golden Globes is phenomenal.
Okay.
And because most people, once they get to the point where they're winning Academy Awards, don't go back to TV because they're doing these huge films.
Right.
So I think in the industry, not my opinion necessarily, but in the industry, I believe that Academy Awards are considered to be the higher level of achievement.
Right. So, and it also makes your paycheck go up.
Big
Even
time.
if you're just an Academy Award or, for that matter, Golden Globe nominee, even though you're a nominee, now all of a sudden your stock goes up and you could request, or your agent requests, whatever, a minimum. I will minimum get this. I mean, I think at the peak of his career, I believe Jim Carrey's minimum price tag was $10 million. So I believe that was his price tag, basically, on that aspect. So what has Jim Carrey done in the past, I don't know, we'll say 5 years? What can you think of that he's done?
Nah, boy, not too much. I just saw him on something, a commercial for something, an advertisement. I'm going to look him up right now, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get back to the how people learn their lines aspect. Several people, though, like Laura Sweeney, said, and about 10 people all said the same thing. Voice memo, record on her iPhone, then listen to it all over on the headphones. So basically, so she might just be an auditory, maybe not that much of a visual person. So she will put on her headphones and just listen to it over and over and over again. She might be doing housework or whatever, or driving around listening to headphones. There are some people that really can't because they'll get distracted. Like I could be listening to something on the headphones and all of a sudden I'll be thinking of, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, squirrels, whatever. I will look at something and just start thinking stuff. But if I'm reading something, I will read it and I'll go over it. And as an actor, don't kick yourself. So if you learn a line, and say a simple line, I need to go to the grocery store, we'll just say that. If you read the line and then deliver it, I'm going to the grocery store. Don't kick yourself because you missed, that aspect of things, or you missed a line or whatever. It's getting, think of it as making a cake. Making a cake, you have to have basic ingredients. Maybe we'll just call it 5 ingredients. If you take learning your lines as in, I'm going to learn, and you can even cut your line in half. So you can learn just the first half of the line, and then the second half of the line, and then combine them together. And again, folks, like I said earlier, what I'm talking about today on the show, it doesn't matter how you do it. The end result is remembering it, and however your method is, we're just talking about what other people do and what he does and some of the things I do. I really personally like the interaction with someone else. Like, you can get someone, we have technology today. I mean, you guys are watching from all over the world. We've got Great Britain, we've got people in Russia, we've got people in Austin, Texas, Australia, all over. We could put someone on the iPad there, and you could be talking to me, and I could send you my lines, and then I'm going to say, okay, you're Jane, I'm Steve, and run lines that way. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to say. Usually when you get somebody to work off of, because you need that emotional cue in the words to respond to. And I think that's one of the big things. I think that's why it's more important to work with the actors you actually cast with.
Because you're getting that chemistry. Because what happens if you and I are doing like a buddy scene, and maybe I'm coming home from the war, and you're consoling me, and we're really getting emotional, and then we're getting that connection, and then I go and do it with your other actor, and I'm like, your emotions immediately, for me anyway, snap, because I'm like, okay, I know you're the actor with me, but I've already got an emotional bond with this guy. Right. So then you got to do it all over again.
Yeah, but that's also where rehearsing comes in too.
Yes,
so
of course.
You take advantage of both things.
Right,
and successes out of it.
I implore people, and I get this from actors a lot. There will be someone like, oh, I'm stressed out. I'm like, why? They go, I got to learn my lines by Saturday, and it's like Thursday. I'm like, bro, you've had the script for like a month and a half. Yeah. Learn your freaking lines.
When I cast Campers Well the first time, one of the things, I sat down with the main characters, the main cast, I said, now listen, you guys are supposed to be best of friends for all these years. Mm-hmm. I said, you guys need to start.
Yeah.
I said, I want you to exchange phone numbers. I expect you guys to spend time with each other.
Yes.
Go to the movies, get to know each other. You guys I want to believe that you guys are best of friends. And I'm not saying that your acting skills won't portray that, but it's going to be just that much better. And to this day, a lot of them are still friends.
For instance, For instance, say Shaun and I are supposed to be lovers in a film. And we should, what I would suggest would be like, hey, Shaun, let's actually go on a date. Let me come and pick you up. Let me treat you like I would treat you on a date. Let's actually go to dinner. Actually sit down. I want you to get to know me. I want to get to know you. There's where, again, that chemistry comes in. So when you do that scene with those lines, you will already know about this person. Right. And your comfort level will just... Your anxiety level will go down. Your comfort level will go up. And it all translates on the screen.
Plus, when you get more of an intimate connection with those people, remembering those lines in the conversation becomes easier. Now you're not just repeating lines, you're remembering an actual conversation.
Right. And say, if you have a kissing scene, and again, this is what I would suggest doing even right before the scene is shot. I would suggest, not full-blown make-out, I would suggest intimately kissing the person slowly or whatever, just so you can get that feel, because I've seen on set many times where someone would jump or move or tense up or whatever. If you're in a any kind of scene, doesn't matter what it is, a fight scene, a whatever, go and run through your lines just standing there talking to each other. Then run through your lines with the blocking. and then run through your lines like you're fully in the scene, and you'll be surprised that there's a difference between, and it's fine, you might know your lines backwards and forwards, but if you haven't at least tried to practice at some point, it will, again, translate on
Absolutely.
film and or stage, that matter.
Okay.
But again, to me personally, I am more. I'm fearful, but I'm alert when it comes to stage acting. I went and saw a show Tuesday night at the Capitol Stage Theater, and I'm watching these guys. And I'm like, dude, this is live. These guys cannot.
What did you see?
Christmas at Pemberley.
Okay.
Pemberley. It was like a Jane Austen kind of thing. So it's like they could mess up and or not or whatever. So, but I think though when you do stage, I think your body conditions itself differently mentally because you know.
Right.
And I think you study more as an actor. This is my personal opinion on stage than you do on film. So, Shaun, if you had one piece of advice for any actor, stage or film, from your experience, what would it be?
In regards to
anything.
Oh, the best thing I could suggest is never stop when the auditions don't go well. Make connections with other actors, filmmakers, get involved, donate your time, put yourself out there, and you'll be amazed the connections you make. And just gotta make it a full-time job. You gotta make it your life if you want to really make it.
And again, I would suggest for anyone that's an actor, go to this Facebook page. It's Bonnie Gillespie hosts the page. It's called Self-Management for Actors. Again, she has a plethora of knowledge, and it's really interactive. If you put a question up on there, I mean, I had over 47 on just that one question, but then there's other things where you created a Google Doc, and then you put your headshot up there, and then you ask a question like, what kind of role do you think this actor would be in? Or you just ask a series of questions, and anonymously people would answer them. But there were a few jackholes out there that were either mean with their answers or just silly. And as actors, we take this seriously. Yeah. We want your feedback because it will really help us. And this page really, really helps out. And Bonnie Gillespie's awesome.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I was going to say, as far as those other people, there's always people out there with personality disorders. So.
Yeah. Well, I think
they can't help.
I think that as an actor, you're always honing your craft. If you ever get to the point as an actor to where you are comfortable and you're like, oh, yeah, this ain't no problem, and you're not nervous or scared, then you need to get out of it, because then you become complacent, and then you become stagnant, and then you become a lot of other things. But always learn. If you can go to a class, go to it. Even if you've taken it at another school or another acting teacher or whatever, get into a community.
Right. Going back to what you were saying, Johnny Depp, to this day, he says the only way he'll take a role is if it scares him. He has to, and also because he wants to take that character to an extreme, and if the producers aren't nervous by what he's doing, then he feels like he's not trying hard enough.
Right.
He's not trying to get to the next level in every film.
Right. And Shaun was talking about auditions, and I will say this. I put a question up there, and there were a few people that kind of made me feel better about it, and Ryan Adams was one of them. I did an audition a couple weeks ago, and the director, right in the middle of me delivering my lines, the director said, okay, that's good, that's enough, thank you, whatever. And this was a callback, and I was like, dang it. Because when that happens, even though I was like, man, did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? And then when I'm driving home, I'm like, oh, man, I could have done that better. I could have said that line better. Oh, man, I could have given that emotion. But I was beating myself up a little bit about it. And then when I posted that on Facebook, people said what they said. And Ryan was one of the guys that really helped me feel better about myself with what he said. And I appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you very much. Folks, we got a few more minutes left on the show. And a couple more calls to action. One, go to our website, cellar13films.com. and check out what we're doing. Actually, it's being revamped, so right after the first of the year, you're going to see a brand spanking new website. If there is a show topic you want to talk about or questions, ask. We'll cover that. We are on here every single Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific on Armed Radio. And again, we're being blasted out to 60 countries right now. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Spreaker. You could catch, for those people that are watching on Periscope and Facebook, Periscope, the shows will always be archived up there, and Facebook as well. And I want to let everyone know, like I do every week, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. We appreciate it very much. Cellar 13 Films, folks, in 2018, we're going to step it up. We're going to put this thing into high gear and really get going. Our movie, Legends of the Cage, After the Final Bell. We already have 47 fighters signed. We've got some really good stuff going on. We've got Camper's Well, that was written by this guy right here. And we're going to start principal photography second week of May. We've got Lisa Wilcox, Tuesday night. Victor Miller, already signed. We've got Tobias, which is part of this anthology. We've got several things going on and some stuff that we will let loose in the new year. Got about a minute left, Shaun. Anything else you want to say?
Gee.
He's like, listen, let me talk.
I didn't think I would. No, actually, just, a lot of good movies out there. Don't forget to watch one as often as you can, and, give us your ideas for topics. And don't forget, you want to plug the GoFundMe site?
Yes. Go to GoFundMe.com and search Campers Well. And if you would like to donate to Campers Well, go ahead and do that. There's different levels on there. Every little thing helps, and we appreciate everyone that has already donated. So, last thing that I would say, folks, support your local theater. Doesn't matter what it is. Go to a show. Support your local theater. We will see you next week. Peace out. Good night.